Hi, it's KCCK's Culture Crawl. I'm Dennis Green, and it's Muni Band Day. During the Culture Crawl, as Steve Shanley from the Cedar Rapids Municipal Band stops by to talk about each week's concerts, because it's one of our favorite things in Cedar Rapids is those twice-weekly concerts all summer long from the Municipal Band, and we're, hard to believe, we're nearing the halfway point.
Nearing the halfway point with week 4, and interesting trivia that I'm sure some of our longtime followers have picked up on. Oftentimes, week 4 is the patriotic week.
Right.
But this year it's not.
Yes.
Yeah, some years when the calendar kind of has to reset a little bit. So I always have to double check that, because there was one year where I was like, all right, yeah, week 4, got to program the patriotic stuff. And then I realized, oh, that's actually a week early for all of that stuff. So no patriotic concert this week, but please know that we will be doing our usual during week 5, all your patriotic favorites. So this week, week 4, very excited to feature Andy Harris, our longtime principal horn player in the Municipal Band, longtime principal horn player in Orchestra Iowa, and just all around amazing musician, great guy. And we are lucky to have so many outstanding musicians here in Eastern Iowa playing with the Municipal Band, playing with Orchestra Iowa. But Tim Hankiewicz, Orchestra Iowa conductor, and I have spoken about Andy numerous times, and he is one of the few that we say, yep, he could be playing in the Chicago Symphony Orchestra. We're lucky he happens to live here and is playing in our groups instead, but he's that good. He could hang with them.
And you often say that, as much fun as it is to bring in guest artists for the Municipal Band and show everybody somebody they don't see every day, that each member pretty much of your Municipal Band could easily be a featured soloist.
Definitely. And that was one thing that my predecessor, Morgan Jones, he was really good about featuring soloists every week, but they were mostly soloists from outside of the band, and they were wonderful. And I just remember sitting back there in the percussion section, of course, never thinking I should be featured, because I should not be on any percussion instrument, but looking around at some of the wonderful players and thinking they could probably do a wonderful solo with the band. And so right off the bat, my first year back in 2011, I told the members of the band and the regular subs, if you got ideas for something you want to play, you want to be featured with the band, send it to me. And we've had so many cool things that have come out of that, including this piece. Andy sent it to me this winter and said, what do you think? And I'd never heard of the composer. His name is Gary Kuo, and the piece is called Wingspan, and I listened to it, and, Andy knows what the Municipal Band is and our concerts and our audience. And I was like, yep, this is perfect. Just beautiful, sounds Americana, contemporary film score-ish, and just soaring, making great use of everything that the horn can do from a lyrical standpoint, from a technical standpoint. And Andy, of course, sounds wonderful on it.
So not only do you have, great soloists, but you have people who can help you program the repertoire too. That is okay.
That is nice. Yeah. Oftentimes by the time April or May rolls around, half of it's already been programmed, and it's just ideas that I've stolen from people who've been kind enough to share their wisdom with me.
What else is on the show?
Favorite for the kids this week, we got a medley from Frozen. And that's one of those, I think we maybe play this one every other year or so, and it just never gets old. The music is so good, and I'm glad that people are still watching it and the kids are still excited about watching it, because I will program it as long as the families continue to make that kind of part of a growing up thing for the children. So bring the children. We'll have that early on. And then for the children who are a little bit older in the audience, we also have a medley from Grease, which I couldn't believe it. I think I was driving around, maybe listening to the 70s channel, and heard something from Grease. And I thought, yeah, I haven't heard this in years. There's a lot of great music in that musical and in the film, and we did not have any of it in our library. So I went out and bought a Grease medley, and I have a feeling that that will bring back some memories for a lot of audience members as well. And then we've got the kind of the war horse for the week is the Malcom Arnold Four Scottish Dances, which is a big undertaking for the band, but they've played it a couple times in the past. We probably haven't played it in about 10 years now, but I'm really looking forward to sharing that. The audience has liked that every other time that we've played it. It's in 4 movements, and every section of the band gets a real workout, including the horns. And I asked Andy, is it okay if I program these both the same week? And if so, do you care what order they go in? And he said, yeah, program them both. Just please don't have them back to back. So I said, you really don't care what goes in between? He said, nope, just as long as they aren't back to back, we'll be fine. So the highlights from Frozen are going in between Andy's piece and the 4 Scottish dances. So hopefully he can get a little bit of downtime there to rest his chops, and then we'll put him to work. And then Greg Morton, our principal bassoonist, gets a good workout on the 4 Scottish dances as well. And then a friend of mine, Jay Kahn, who was a band director in Makokata for many, many years until he retired just a couple of years ago. He knows that I have an affinity for marches that are in minor keys. There are not a lot of marches that are written that sound sad or dark or scary, because, the whole purpose of a march originally is to motivate the troops who are getting ready to go into battle. So you want something uplifting and peppy, and
you don't want them getting depressed.
Correct. Or putting any bad thoughts in their head about the outcome maybe not turning out so well. So he sent me an email this winter and said, a march I think you'll like, I think was the subject. And then he said, dear minor march lover, I found this one from W. Paris Chambers called The King of Terror that I think you'll like. And I played about 30 seconds of it. It was like, sold. And then I went and bought it. So excited to have that one as well. As is the case with many marches that start in minor keys, it does not stay sad and dark the whole time. It does turn major at the end. But that's a good one. People are going to love that as well.
Best title of a march I've come across in a while. King of Terror.
Of Terror. Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty great title and for a great march. So those concerts are Wednesday at Knoll Ridge Park, kind of in your backyard there, and then Sunday at Ellis Park.
All right. And and people can watch on the live stream too on Facebook Live if for some reason they can't get to the concert.
Very much encourage you to check out the live stream. That is a great way to stay in touch with the municipal band as you go on your summer travels. You can check that out on your phone or on your tablet or whatever, and Justin Comer and his crew do a great job with the audio and the video on that. So we continue to get more and more followers really from around the world who are watching those concerts. So encourage those listeners as well.
Find the Muni Band on Facebook to get the latest or watch the live stream. But you also have a website too, which is?
The website is crmuniband.org. And yes, Facebook is probably the best place in case you're wondering about any weather cancellations or anything like that. And we've also got all of Jeff Schmott's great photos that he takes of the band that are up on Facebook as well. So check those out, give those a like. And thanks for your support, Dennis.
Thanks again for being with us, and looking forward to this week's concerts, and come back next week and we'll talk patriotic pops.
Looking forward to it.
You can hear the Culture Crawl live on the radio many weekdays at 10:30, or download the podcast, watch or listen on your own schedule at kcck.org/culture, or using your favorite podcast app. You can watch our videos on the KCCK Facebook or YouTube channels. Our producer is Lydia Kilgore. I'm Dennis Green. I'll talk to you later.